We are looking at the Eland back end, and we are going to have a look at how to add a company to Eland. Only administrators has the right to go into the back end and work in the back end. Most users will only use the front end. So this section will only be for users that will have access to the back end, which is the administrators of a specific company. To add a company, you will click on Add. The company name, let's give it a test. If you have a logo, you can add the logo to the company. You need to just upload that logo in a JPEG file format. The company address, the physical address, the postal address. The labels that's available that you see here are all customizable. So wherever we have an option to customize a label, we can actually do that. So you can change the label from CMS, compliance management measures, maybe to operational management measures, whatever you want to. So these labels are all customizable. The same with the labels for the risk assessment. You can change those labels and make sure that you actually use those labels that is the same as what you would use in your company, the same wording as what you would use in your company, to make it more understandable for the user in the front end. Then the company rate, that's just something that we use in Eland. We don't necessarily have to insert it. You'll see there's no red star to this specific field, so that means it's optional. We don't have to put it in. And if you're an administrator, you're obviously not going to put the rate in there. The year-end date is very important. Your year-end is when is your financial year-end, or when is the year that you want to measure, your 12-month period that you want to measure. When does that 12-month period end? The reason we have that is because Eland will reset the compliance management system at 12 o'clock of that specific date. 12 o'clock at night, so that it goes the next day, you fully compliant again, you start a new 12-month period. So it's very, very important to have the correct year-end date. Is the company active? Obviously, if you're going to capture, you want to say yes, the company is active. When we have companies that's no longer with Eland, or where we have sites that have been closed, we make that site or that company an inactive site so that we don't lose the history of it, because we don't necessarily want to delete the companies or the information from Eland. And then again, company rate period for, are you a monthly client, a quarterly client, biannually or annually? How would you pay? Again, this is not something that the administrator will fill in, and it's optional. And then you just add. If you add, it will open that new company, and it will just add it to the list of companies we already have in Eland. If you want to search for a company, I'm a master user, so you'll see all the companies here. So let's just search for the company that we just added, and there's my company that's added. Now in this company, I might have sites, so it's not just the company. You obviously have different sites that you operate from. So if you click on add, it goes into, you've got business units and you've got business sites that you can add. So I can add a business unit. So I'm saying my company, test company, has got a BU1. Let's just call it that. And again, you can add your logos in here. The rest of the information should be exactly the same as what you have in your company, unless if you want to change some of your labels again for business unit to business unit, you can also do that. So we add a business unit. Let's just see, there's my business unit, and now I can add a site. So if you have already added sites, you can choose existing sites, but we're going to add a new site. Again, my company is a test, and it's ABC is my site. it will give you the address, but if the site address have changed, if it's not the same as the company address, you can actually change that. And again, you can change the labels and make that specific. What is different from the site is you can now select your BUs to link the site to a specific BUs, because obviously the company is made out of a group of BUs with a group of sites under each BU. The phase that you select is mostly operational, but if you have a look at this section, you can have pre-construction, construction, operational, decommissioning, closure, post-closure. It all depends on what state you are in at that point in time. Most of our clients is either operational, or either in a pre-construction state or in a post-closure state. Very few is operating in decommissioning or closure of construction, fully construction sites at this stage. Your contact person, you can add a person's name there so that we know who to phone in case of a problem with the contract. And then your available modules is important, so that you can say, and this is again what license you're going to purchase will determine which of these modules you'll allow to have. But again, that will only be available for the administrator to choose as we set up the system for them. Spot on site name, you don't necessarily going to have to work with Spot On. Spot On is a legal register. These sites that you can see here, they all work with Spot On. So Spot On is a legal register that is just a link between Eland and Spot On. So if we choose that site's name, the site will be able to move from their Eland login to the Spot On login without any problems, to make sure that they can work on both software platforms. And when we just add the site, and there you have it. So we have a company, a business unit, and a site. Then obviously we can edit. If you click on edit, it will edit the specific company or the site that you want to edit. Just take note, we have a tab here that says reset. If you click on reset, the system will give you a message saying, if you reset the site, everything that you have done before today will be lost and it will reset. So you won't lose the wording, but you might lose records. So it resets the site. And resetting the site means it resets the date, your start date. So your site will go back to compliant from a specific date, as I've mentioned before, and that's your year-end date. If you reset your site, it defaults to the date that you give the system to say that's the reset date. So reset should really just be used when it's really, really required to reset the site, but I don't recommend that you actually use the reset site. The only reason why we have this is because in some cases we have done demos for people, and we've built in the management system, and it ran for 2 weeks, and after the demo period we reset the site and we implement the full program for them. Again, you can edit your BU. If you click on edit, we'll open it. If you delete it, we'll delete the BU. And it's the same with your site. You can edit the site, and you can delink the site from the company, and you can delete the site as well if you so require to do so. And that is our company, how we capture a company, a BU, and a site.